Hi y'all, welcome back to Country Gals Homestead. Today we are going to have the second garden tour of 2026. I went ahead and decided to do it now so y'all can see how pretty everything is, because the heat's starting to come in and I'm just afraid it's not going to be this pretty that much longer. So let's go see how much this garden has grown. Okay, all right. Ooh, I got some weeds around this garden here. But I decided I'm going to go ahead and make I got some weeds in the garden, which I hate. But I've been trying to get them out. I decided to go ahead and make my second garden tour video. I'm trying to get it together. We have a lot of this. I don't know if it's called, what kind of grass this is called. I think it's not really sure, but it's not fescue, I don't think. But anyway, we have it. I have a lot of this in my garden that I have to pull out, and I don't know if why, but I have a lot of it all around my house. Garden hadn't been too hard to weed because we've had so much rain. And I wanted to get out here before it's been getting hot and humid with the rain here in North Mississippi. Hot and humid. We'll have it like a shower, like a downpour shower, and then the sun will come out and it'll get real hot and humid, and yeah, that's just how it is around here this time of year. But our weather in April, this is June now, but our weather in April it would get hot in the daytime. It'd get up to like 90, which that's very unusual for April. We usually get most of the rain in April, first of May, but this year April and May was kind of like vice versa. So we got most of the rain and humidity here in May. But I want to get out here and try to get a video together before the heat really hits. Because, I mean, it is starting to get hot and everything. And when that happens, the heat comes in, my garden kind of goes south of the border. But anyway, here's my cucumbers, y'all. Remember if you've seen my first video, they were just little seedlings that I had transplanted. And see how I don't like when they start kind of trying to get some brown spots and stuff, but that's just from the weather. And I wanted to get this video made before they got really deteriorated. But there's my cucumbers, and I've got a big sink full in there that I have to process in the kitchen there. It's going to be probably, who knows. I'm going to say the price might be close to 2 cases of pints to make pickles. So that's what I've got to do. And sometime, probably tonight, because I need to pick up some jars and stuff like that. But here's the cucumbers. I've got some, of course there's some weeds in my the end here, because I haven't been able to get in there, because I've got some sunflowers planted in here, and I think they're about to get ready to bloom. Got some sunflowers planted here. I got some volunteer zinnias here, volunteered from last year, and a lot of grass that I need to get out of there. But this corner is basically the only corner that's got grass in my garden. There's a few spots here and there, but I'm trying to keep up with it, to tell you the truth. But yeah, the cucumbers are doing great, and I did Boston picklers, and then I also did munchers. And the munchers, they get real long. Some of, when they first started out, they were like real long and skinny. But then they started filling out, and that's a lot of cucumber. Yeah, it's a lot of cucumber. But I like the munchers. They're real crunchy. Excuse me. I've had a little bit of congestion. I have allergies, and I do get congested a lot. So, but here's my okra, y'all, and I've been picking a few okras off of here already. Getting some okra going here. Here's one of the rows, which, I planted the seedlings. For my first year of me planting seedlings, because I usually just do seeds and, go from there in the garden. See, there's a bloom right there, an okra bloom. And there's some okra right there. Yeah. But the seedlings, transplanted seedlings did great. Like I said, I'm getting okra off of them. And here's another row of the okra. The crimson spineless. That's all I did this year. I did one variety this year. But it's doing good, and doing real good. So, like I said, I'm already starting to get me some okra off of it. We'll pickle some okra. Here's one of those munchers. You see how long and skinny they are? Yeah. Some of them get a lot thicker than that, but for the most part, they're mostly long and skinny. So, there's some Boston pickler right there. Yeah. And I like those because those get to be about the right size for like pint jars. So when I make my pickles. So, but I was like, I better get out there and do a video before the heat hits and it's my garden. Because that's pretty much what it does. So I said, okay, I'll just make a June garden. My little table here, I'm going today to get my container for, I usually have a little fountain right there. So, and when we had that bad hailstorm, my container was upside down because, I poured the water out of it and just tipped it upside down, put it upside down. So it couldn't, I did that so it wouldn't freeze and bust, because they're known to do that, plastic. So, but when the hailstorm came, it just destroyed my container for my fountain. So I'm going to go today and get another one. I've already got me a fountain. Hopefully, it might take it just a few hours to get this whole video done. So maybe by the time I go and get my container, I can have it set up and maybe get y'all a little shot of how I have it set up. But yeah, so, and it's a solar fountain, and it usually only runs when the sun's hitting it, but nevertheless, it's nice to have in the summertime. I just like to hear the noise of the water running, and it attracts birds to my garden and stuff. So yeah, and so this row right here, there's a sunflower I planted right there in there. So this row right here is what I planted from seeds, and it's doing fine. It's doing fine. It's not as tall as the other because it was planted later, and of course it was planted from seeds rather than seedling transplants. So it's doing really good too. I'm gonna have a lot of okra this year. I just have that feeling, and they love the heat. So the hotter it is, the better they love it, and the more they produce. So, so yeah, and yeah, like I said, it's been raining a lot, and everything's not as clean as I would prefer it to be. But just got to work with it. Everything, I guess. And my time's been limited because I had 2 flea markets that I went to back, and just getting ready for all that. I've done the best I could in my garden, because I haven't had the time to get out here and get it like I love it. But here's one of my tomato plants here, and it's doing wonderful. Just growing straight up, but it looks good, but I don't see a lot of blooms on it, and it's like it's got blooms on it, but it looks like it's putting more into the leaves and everything and branches instead of producing very much fruit. But we'll see what it does. I mean, it looks great. It looks great. And I got my cayenne peppers here that I planted. They've got some pretty nice size cayennes on them. I'm just waiting for them to turn red. I really need my red peppers so I can make my pepper sauce. Really, really need my red peppers. I didn't get to sell any pepper sauce over the weekend because I didn't have any red peppers. So that's and I know I can make it with green, but that red just is, I don't know, it makes a lot of people like the hot pepper sauce. Some people like mild pepper sauce, but not very many people like mild. They like a little bit of heat with their pepper sauce. So yeah, that's my cayennes there, looking good. Peppers are looking good. And let me tell you, last night I did come out here and try to tidy up a little bit, and I sprayed some neem oil on some things, and I don't know, the neem oil, I kind of swear by the neem oil, because it's not only is it a bug deterrent, but it is also a disease deterrent. It's also like a fertilizer. It's like a fertilizer that helps. That's the only thing I really use in my garden, to tell you the truth, other than some, fertilizer, which I did use a lot of rabbit fertilizer for my rabbits, and it seems like it really helped my garden out, because I try to get it as much in my garden as I could with the rabbit pellets, and I think it really improved the soil. And I got a couple peppers. It's just kind of a little stunted still, but they'll come out of it. And these are my jalapenos here. I've already picked some of my jalapenos for some of my eggs, some of my pickled eggs that I do. So, but there's still some more on here. This is a little pepper plant, but it'll get real big. But yeah, it's got some. I got some jalapeno peppers out here that won't be long before I'll come pick them. So this one here grew a little bit bigger, and I've got, I think, maybe 6 jalapeno peppers out here in the garden. And here's another tomato. Tomato plants and pepper plants are companion plants, so they do really good beside each other. And this one's got some tomatoes on it. Yeah, I got the trying to think what variety these are. I got some celebrities, and I also have some jet stars. They seem to do really good. And here's another cucumber. That's another one of those. That's another one of the munchers right there. So, this little fella, he was struggling, but he was just really struggling for a while. And then I sprayed some neem oil on there, and I think I give it a little bit of mild fertilizer, mild organic. But yeah, here's another jalapeno pepper plant. It's starting to, I think I might have picked a couple off of this one already. And then we have another tomato plant here. And that's why I like the Jet Star, because it seems like they produce a lot. Seems like they do. I might be getting some, oh no, that's just I was thinking it had some disease on it. The end rot that they get sometimes when there's a lot of water, or they'll split too if there's a lot of rain and water. But these look pretty good. And this year I did use straw for mulch, and it seems to really help them. I mean, it seems like they do better. So I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. They haven't been diseased, and they're looking good. But like I said, I did spray some neem oil on them last night, and they look really good. So yeah, so we'll have either some fried green tomatoes or some pickled green tomatoes. And I also use them in my chow chow. So, but yeah, but like I said, the Jetstar seems to have a lot of quantity, more quantity than some of the other varieties. So they don't get as big as like beefsteak, but they're like a medium size. But they're really good. They're really good tomato, and there's some right there. They're looking pretty good. The green tomatoes. Getting ready for some of them to turn red. So yeah. Oh, here's my beans, y'all. I'm going to have a bunch of beans here. I'm going to have a bunch of beans. I don't like so much of this puddles right here. I'm going to have to fix that a little bit. But there's my beans here. I gotta, yeah, because I don't like how that puddles a lot. Only thing it's good for is to wipe my boots off in. So get the dirt off my boots. All right, but I do like the black plastic. I haven't had very much problems with ants, because usually if you put this black plastic down, it seems like ants just love to get up under it. Red ants, which I loathe red ants. I don't know too many people that like them, to tell you the truth. But here's my green beans, y'all. I'm going to have the green bean tunnel for too long. Look at them. They're already halfway up. They're halfway up the tunnel there. Yeah. So can't wait to have my bean tunnel. Look how thick they are. Yeah. I like how I made this to where I got openings to where I can just come from either side of the bean tunnel here. And I got my blue lakes on one, down on about half of the bean tunnel is blue lake, and the other half is rattlesnake beans. So yeah, so I'm getting my bean tunnel together, y'all. Look. Now I haven't cut down my mulberry tree here, and it just started growing, and I wanted to see if I could get some mulberries off of it. I have gotten some off of it, but I want to get enough to make at least, this is its second year being here, and it does provide some shade for the garden, which it's better than having full sun, because that full sun just destroys everything in our heat and humidity that we get. It gets 100 and it can get up to 103, 104 in the summertime. So, and then add the humidity in, and it feels like you're dying. So, but yeah, so my bean tunnel's doing pretty good. Some of the spots that was kind of shaded by the tree is a little skimpy, but as it grows, it'll fill in. It'll fill in from the other side over there where it's not shaded. But yeah, so I got some blooms on there already, and that's the rattlesnake. That's my favorite. Yeah. So yeah, like in here, it's just a little where it's getting a lot of shade, so it's not going to, because I didn't want to cut my mulberry tree down yet. Plus, there is also an elderberry tree up in here, and I think I can go ahead and cut some limbs off the elderberry tree. We have so many elderberry trees growing around here. I don't really need this one, because it's just, there's so many that, I need to cut this out so I can give So some of my stuff can get some more sun. I mean, they're getting more shade than they are sun. So, but yeah, so the elderberry tree, it's got some elderberries on it. There's one right there. It's not ripe. I'm trying to zoom in on it, but I don't see it. There. Where is it? There. There it is, right there. Yeah. So it's not quite ripe, but I have gotten some ripe ones. They're about ready to. The ones in the top up there are where I can't hardly reach them because the tree is grown so tall. But I have a ladder that I'm trying to get them with. If I can just get one thing of jelly, enough to make one batch of jelly, I think I'll be okay. Because I just want to see, I just want to have some elderberry, not elderberry, which I do need to try to make some elderberry jelly too. But the mulberries. So I want to at least get a batch of mulberry jelly, maybe. There's a ripe one right there. Yeah. Getting out here and getting them before the ripe ones, before the birds get them, is what needs to happen. You know, I see several ripe to get, and then I gotta have, you know, it's a time constraint thing with me nowadays, because I'll tell you why. I'm on my low carb carnivore diet. I've lost 15 pounds. And I've also gotten back to the gym. I'm trying to go at least, with my time schedule, I can go basically 4 days a week. So I'll go today, which is Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is my gym days. So I've been trying to get that in. And I'll tell you, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better. And I like this low carb carnivore. A lot of people are just going to straight carnivore. I don't know about all that because of the fiber. You know, we got to have fiber in our diets. We have to have some type of fiber in our diets. So with that in mind, I'm like, I've got a couple tomato plants here that I haven't gotten tied up good, and they've fallen over. With that in mind, you know, I think I'm going to do low carb, stay on the low carb carnivore, and still maybe get a little bit of fruit and vegetable. More vegetable than fruit. I'm not a real big fruit person, but I love my vegetables. So I've been eating sauerkraut, and I think sauerkraut's a good source of fiber, and I think that might help, you know, that might help out eating some sauerkraut. Some of my homemade old-fashioned sauerkraut, y'all. It's so good. So good. So these tomato plants out here are doing pretty good. This is the row that I said I had a plan for it. I got some weeds to get out, and I also have some more blackberries growing out here, wild blackberries. I saw that they were growing. I said I'm just going to leave them, and maybe I can get some blackberries. I've been picking blackberries. So I've been getting quite a few blackberries. I also have a couple tame blackberries. Oh, I have one that is just, the blackberries are humongous. Humongous. Yeah, I got to get these tomato plants taken care of, because this one here, he's done fell down. Yeah, he's done fell down. I need to get that tied up. And where they're not getting so much because of the tree, okay, because of the mulberry tree and all the shade that it produces, these aren't getting quite enough sun, and they're kind of leggy. They're kind of leggy. Yeah, they're kind of leggy, but they're still really producing good, because even though they are kind of leggy, not getting that much sun, look, I mean, they're not doing bad at all. You know, they're not doing bad at all. So, and I tell you, I think this straw has really, really helped me out this year. With keeping the leaves from getting, there's a little bit of blight right there on that one that I need to probably take care of. But like I said, the neem oil helps with the blight too. So, but yeah, even though they're not getting as much sun as they should be getting, they're still doing good. You know, they're still doing good. So, yeah, so I went ahead and just did these 2 rows and tomato plants because I had the plants already. So, and I didn't want them just to, you know, I didn't want them just to be destroyed or not get planted. So I planted them here, and I've got this ivy that's growing around my garden. I'm gonna cut some of this mess out because it's just too much. These are blackberries, blackberry, but I don't want it to be overgrown with blackberries, wild blackberries. So, but I will trim this up and stuff. But I got this ivy. I've got this ivy out here, and it helps with keeping the weeds down. So I'm looking over there. I got some kind of a little handle thing I need to get. I see that it was left. I don't even know where that came from. It's goes on the water hose. I didn't know that much. So I gotta get that out of there. But yeah, the ivy, I'm trying to get it to grow around the garden. Less weeds around the garden, because me being me, I don't like weeds. So, and it's really it is doing what I want it to do, but I'll still have to trim it back some. But see, it's doing what I want it to do right here in this corner. There we go. So I like this ivy, but you do have to keep it trimmed back. If not, it'll just take over everything. So, and I got some more trimming to do out here. Oops, I accidentally shut the video off accidentally. Okay, but yeah, these tomato plants, although they're not very big, they're still producing. They're still producing. I mean, they're not very big because, like I said, I need to cut this mulberry tree. Yeah. So, yeah, I got a few things. Looks like there's been a armadillo out here digging a little bit, and I need to keep him from getting over here and digging because I don't like him to be over here digging up stuff. So they won't eat my tomatoes or nothing, but they'll dig and try to get grubs and stuff. So yeah, I'll go ahead and go over. I'll go ahead. There's my bean tunnel. I'm gonna go over here and show y'all some of the. I also have some potted plants, tomatoes and peppers, and over here by the greenhouse. So let's go over there and see what we can find. Yeah, this big old mulberry tree is going to have to have get a haircut because it's getting out of hand. And see, we got blooms on the elderberries. Here we go. Yeah, we got blooms on the elderberries. All right, let's go see the potted plants, how they're doing. You know, I said let's go over here and see the potted plants, but I forgot to show y'all my squash and zucchini. Oops, I'm trying to get around this fence that's right here. Here's my squash, y'all. And I'll tell you what, y'all, we have very few pollinators. I'm just going to flat out tell you, we have very few pollinators. I'm not liking it. But at first, the squash was just tiny, and I could tell that it's not getting pollinated like it needs to get. But they're starting to. So we got that squash there's probably ready. And if you've ever had pickled squash, oh my goodness, it's so good. I got some volunteer zinnias that's bloomed. They're so pretty. I love them. That one right there is my favorite color right there. Yeah. So, and what's the, this one here is so pretty and unique. I love it how it's got the pink in the in the center there. Yeah. I love these flowers. Pretty, 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 pretty. These are all volunteers from my flowers from last year. Actually, could be even been the year before that. That came back. And I really never planted any in this spot. And I think that either they were carried over here by the wind, the seeds from my other zinnia patch over here that I did. That's on my last video. But yeah, that's pretty. Look how pretty. It's a flower inside of a flower. Flower on a flower. Isn't that neat? The little yellow. Yeah. So anyway, okay, so my squash, you know, had a little slow and go with it because of pollinators. But now here's some zucchini, and it's starting to take off. And I do pickle the zucchini too. Oh, it's so good. And a sweet and spicy zucchini. Oh my goodness, what are you talking about? Yeah. But this garden has grown. It has grown. So the zucchinis are doing good. They seem to be, like I said, at first they weren't getting pollinated very good either. But it's getting better. So, getting better. There's a big zucchini down there too. Yeah. And there we go. I should have a lot of zucchini. I should get a good harvest. Yeah. So they're looking good and healthy. Alright, so let's go see how the tomato plants over here are doing. Let's go see how those are doing. Okay. These tomatoes here, it was the last thing I think that I planted. I made me a bed, and I'm still not really finished with it. I'm trying to make it a raised bed. This one here I just have in a container, and it's doing good. I just need to get it tied up, and there's several that I haven't gotten tied up. But these are what I planted last. But that one there's not tied up yet. I mean, they don't look too bad. Kind of leggy because they are kind of like in shade, but I'd rather have them leggy than dead from the sun, beating down on them all day long constantly. So I've got to get those tied up, and I think they're going to do fine. They're already looking good. Some of these are beefsteaks. I got the back row are beefsteaks, and the front row is Early Girl. So, but yeah, I do have some beefsteaks in here. They aren't producing yet, but they look really, really good. They're looking good and healthy. The Early Girls have some tomatoes on them, but not like the ones in the garden. But like I said, these were planted last, so they haven't been in the ground as long. So, but yeah. All right. Okay. I've got a succulent here. This thing is just, you can't hardly kill this. Not sure what the name of it is, but you can't hardly kill this. But anyway, I got a serrano here. It's got some serrano peppers. Got some serrano peppers coming in on it. Pretty good. So, alright, and I believe this is a little Tabasco here. It's got some blooms on it, got some little peppers on it. Got some, no, actually this might be Thai pepper, is it? Yeah, this is a hot Thai pepper. Yeah, this one is. I thought it was when I seen how small the little peppers were. Yeah, that's a Thai right there. And that right there is a Tabasco. Doing good, doing good, doing good. Tabasco's doing good. And this right here is a Fresno. And they turn red. Well, actually, the Serranos will... Oh, that one just put... Oh, no! I just broke that off. I broke it off. Oh, no. It was getting on the verge of just starting to turn. Oh, no. All right, that's okay, because we'll have more. We'll have more. And I can use this in something that I can use this in something else. So, yeah. We got... Let's see. This is the... What do I not see? World's hottest pepper. That's the that's a Carolina Reaper. That's Carolina Reaper. Yeah, I don't have any peppers on it yet. They seem to be slower. The Carolina Reapers and the Trinidad Scorpions. They seem to be slower, bringing on the fruit. So I got this one here. Has got a little. I'm not sure what that's from. I'm sure it's from the rain. I did use neem oil on it, but it's got some spots on the leaves and stuff, but it's got to be from the rain, I would think. But this is a purple bell, and it's got a bell pepper on it already. Yeah, purple bell. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever grew a purple bell that I can remember, but we have this one. Oh, here's the Cajun bell. Cajun bell starting to turn red. They don't get real big. I don't think they're supposed to, because yeah, they don't get real big like a bell, like a regular bell pepper. But now the Cajun bell is spicy, so it's a spicy pepper. And my purple bell is probably going to be spicy because it's probably got cross-pollinated, and that does happen. But I didn't think about that before I put it over here. We'll just have to see what happens, because it might be a little spicy. This is another Carolina Reaper here. It's looking good. It's got blooms on it. But yeah, it's got blooms on it, but I haven't seen any peppers on it yet. And then this was Trinidad. Is that Trinidad Scorpion, or is that Carolina? That's a Carolina Reaper too. No, this is Ghost. That's my Ghost. That's my Ghost pepper. And it's like the Carolina Reapers and the Trinidads. It doesn't get peppers on them. It takes a little while. When it starts getting really hot, then it'll start producing. Okay, and that's a Trinidad Scorpion. And another Trinidad Scorpion. And my chickens it's time for feeding, and they're just kind of going crazy and stuff, so yeah. I got another Serrano over there. It's got a big pepper on it. Right there. This is another Serrano. I got some cherry tomatoes. These need some tender loving care because of, like I said, the weather, the rain. You know, I need to trim all. I need to get in here and prune them. And make sure that to spray them with some neem oil. So I haven't done these yet. I did the ones in the garden. I did spray them with neem oil and took care of them, except for the ones that I need to tie up. And this is another cherry tomato, and it's got some blight on it. I think it's because the water was dripping on it, So I need to get in there. It's early blight, so I need to get in there and prune it and spray it with the neem oil. And yeah, because I potted those up. They really already had little tomatoes on them when we got them. So, but yeah, they need a little bit of tender loving care. So yeah. And this is another. This is one that I overwintered, And this is the ornamental pepper. I had one that's purple. I'm not sure if this is the one that's purple or if this is the red one. I had ones that were purple and ones that were red. This is another little Thai pepper. Here, it's got lots of little bitty Thai peppers on it. Little bitty. And these will turn red, and they're really hot. They're really spicy. Yeah, and that's one that I overwintered. And like I said, this here too is the ornamental, also ornamental pepper. I think I won't know if it's the purple or the red until they start turning. So, but it looks good. It's got a lot of little peppers on it too. So there's pretty much my peppers. But that's my favorite thing to grow is peppers. I really love growing peppers. They're just so easy, and you can overwinter them, which is pretty cool. This little fellow here, I had a spot in my garden, and the little it was missed. The spot was missed when I planted my jalapeno peppers. Well, this thing, I was going to put it in the garden because this is one that I overwintered, a jalapeno that I overwintered. This will be its second year. It's kind of small, but it's producing. It is producing little peppers. So I don't want to mess with them too much because they'll fall off, and I don't want them to. But I was going to stick it in that spot over there in the garden, and I said, nah, heck with that. I'm just going to leave it in a little pot. That way maybe I can overwinter it again this year. So we're just going to have to wait and see. So it's doing good. Got the peppers on it. This is my blackberry. I don't know what happened. I'll tell you, I think I know what happened is it got frostbit. Or it got, some frost on some of the blooms. So they didn't really come in. It started out really good, and then they didn't really come in that good after that frost. We had a late frost, and it kind of got them. But nevertheless, I've still been getting some big blackberries off of it. Still been getting some pretty good sized blackberries. Not as many as I'd like, but I have gotten some off of it. It's the tame. And I think this blackberry, I ordered it online, and I believe it's called the Liberty Blackberry, if I'm not mistaken. You see how big of a berry? I still got that pepper in my hand. You see how big of a berry it produces? Way much bigger than a wild. So yeah, it's a big blackberry right there. I think I'm going to get me a couple more of these because I really like how big they get. And it doesn't take that much to make a blackberry cobbler or blackberry jam, which I do make blackberry jam. So, all right, y'all. This might not be the longest video, but I just wanted to show you everything before the heat came in, and because the heat is, it's just the heat and humidity is just it does a number. I'm telling you, it does a number. But yeah, Trinidad right there. I've got a red bell pepper that I haven't planted yet, and I need to get it in the ground. So, but I wanted to get this filmed. I'm gonna show you one more thing I'm gonna show you. And you know, the grass and stuff got out of hand because we had rain for like I'm not even lying, it's about 12 days straight. So our grass got up so high, and I finally got on the riding mower and cut most of it. But there's still weeds and stuff that I haven't gotten to yet. But I'm gonna take you over here and show you the zinnia bed that I did. So let's go see it, and then that's probably gonna be the end of this video. Okay. The zinnia part here is gonna have some shadow in it because of the sun, but really can't help that much. So, but here they are. They're blooming already, y'all. Yeah, they're blooming. I got my fence semi-fixed here. Kind of got it decorated with some. I've used. You know what? There's nothing wrong with using some fake flowers sometimes, and that's what I'm doing, just to spruce things up and to make life easier for me. Because if you've had to water in the summertime, all the flowers that I had last year, I'm telling you what, it's a job. So now I planted these, and I saw these coming up, and I had a little spot back here in the back. I said, well, you know, I really didn't plant any back here. I said it's going to be kind of bare, but I got in there and I weeded it and everything, and decided to go ahead and plant some more. So they're smaller. They're smaller than the first ones I planted, of course, but they're coming in. So got some grass in there. There's really nothing you can really do once the flowers get up so high about the weeding the grass, because you know, you don't want to trample your flowers down in the process. I got some passion fruit growing in there. We have a passion fruit vine, y'all, and let me tell you what, every year it comes back in different places. It's very evasive. I haven't made any jelly yet from my passion fruit, but I'm going to try. You know, it's just the time thing is what it is. I don't have a lot of time where I can do extra little things that I would like to do. But especially with me getting back to the gym and everything, because I got like a 20 to 25 minute drive to my gym, because we live out in the middle of nowhere here. So, and that's for sure, we really do. Okay, y'all, I'll give you a shot of my banana trees, how they're doing, and I think we're going to wrap the video up. But man, I mean, I didn't really get in there and get very many of them thinned out this year, and they're growing like crazy, So yeah, all right, y'all. I'm going to try to make this a little bit of a shorter video than what I usually have. It doesn't take as long to upload and everything. So all right, that's going to do it for our second garden tour of 2026, June the 9th. And everybody, it'd be awesome if you'd like, subscribe, and share my channel, please. So I guess I'll see y'all on the next video, hopefully. But all right, y'all.